In my opinion, FTO, also known as the face-turning octahedron, is the best proposal for a new event containing what I consider to be the most ideal qualities. It is more complex than many existing side puzzles. You have 2x2 Pyraminx cube, all of which are very simple side puzzles. At an elite level, they are all one-lookable and break down to 2 steps. Clock's beginner's method is pretty much all you ever need to know, until recently. These are all very beginner-friendly, and I don't think there's a need for another super beginner-friendly event. FTO is an octahedral puzzle, giving it a slightly more distinctive look. It has 31.4 sextillion combinations, over 70 times as many as a regular 3x3, and has a unique property that arises due to the geometry of an octahedron. When scrambled, you'll notice that a single face can only have 4 colours on it. It is not possible to have white on the same face as yellow with this colour scheme, so you'll never see opposite colours on the same face. The main method to solve it is mostly intuitive, and the only alg-based learning that beginners need is how to use sledges and hedges for the last step, and learning 2 simple algs, which are inverses of each other and pretty much the FTO equivalent of an A-perm. A beginner should be able to learn it within a few days and solve it in a few minutes quite easily, and can get sub 1 without a crazy amount of practice, so it isn't as hard to learn as the blind events. The hardest thing to get used to is the colour scheme. Unlike a 4x4 or a 6x6, you don't just have to worry about centres in relation to each other, but also edges, which is a unique challenge. At the elite level, people have sub 20 averages. The current world best single is 11.43, so it's a little slower than one-handed, but faster than 3 blind. It has definitely got a lot of room for improvement, but this has a nice length for spectators. It isn't so fast it's over in less than 2 seconds, and you can't see what is happening, or long enough that some people might get a little bored watching. Also, it puts less pressure on competitors, since one mistake in a super short event completely ruins a solve and adds so much pressure to the average, making you more likely to get a bad average. Currently, the hardware situation for FTO is not good. The only factory-made one you can get is from 2010, and it performs very poorly compared to what most people are used to these days. To get the best hardware, you have to get the Chi Rex Cube, or as Chi calls it, the Super Ivy Cube, and then you need to get some 3D printed parts. You can buy these, which is quite pricey, or just print them yourself. So it's not very accessible, but this can change in the future, and I hope that it does. As for a scrambler, a random state scrambler already exists, so all it really needs in order to be added to the WCA is good hardware that is accessible, so it can gain the popularity that it will need to be added.